What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We'll also be looking at the current coin market cap, as well as an interesting analyst article that discusses the potential and possibility for a retracement with cryptocurrency, specifically Litecoin, in the near future. We're also going to be looking at the small downturn that we are having. I do think it is quite important. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a try and thumbs up, and let's jump right into today's video. So as you guys can see, we are on the current coin market cap. Before I do jump into this, I do want to show you guys this article really quick. This will kind of start off the analytics and the charting prior to jumping into that. So you can see that this talks, it's a very interesting article that I was trying to read. Analyst Litecoin primed for further losses as technical strength degrades. Litecoin's recent halving event had led many investors and analysts alike to believe that it was posed for a large bull run through the second half of 2019. Litecoin's lackluster price action as of late has dissolved all the hype and that was previously surrounding it. So as we know, the past couple of days we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost a week now of beautiful uptrend on Litecoin, which didn't go unnoticed, and a lot of people were starting to get positive about it. You know, I was one of those. Now moving on, they go into some very interesting words. It says now analysts are noting that crypto is likely to face significantly further downwards pressure in the near future, despite the recent bullishness that Bitcoin and many other altcoins have incurred over the past few days. Litecoin Bitcoin trading pair looks terrible, claims prominent analyst. So this is the interesting part. He said Litecoin is trading up nearly 4% at its current price of $69.20, but is currently trading nearly down nearly 1% against Bitcoin. Though Litecoin's USD trading pair has risen from lows of nearly 60, to its current levels, it has been facing consistent losses when denominated against Bitcoin, and is also down significantly from its pre-halving USD highs over 140. So it's definitely interesting, but he goes in to say that, yeah, it's true. Litecoin may continue plunging if bulls fail to keep or step up the buying pressure. And this makes total sense. Like, it goes without explanation. If the bulls don't step in to raise volume in the near future, we may start to see Litecoin tank following a support, which I'll show you in a second, down to obviously lower levels. And it says anything below red looks like death. Bulls can only hope that this is a shakeout. Trading back above red would make me more confident that it is, obviously, as you can see right here. So we are once again, so he has a support right here, and you'll notice that we are once again below it. Obviously trading below, it's nothing that's, you know, positive or looks good. He goes on to say broke the only significant support left is a big time frame head and shoulders. Positive news, completely irrelevant and dumped into. Many reasons why this looks like shit. Let's hope it makes its way back above the red line. And yeah, pretty much I just want to jump into the coin market cap right now, then we'll go into the charts and kind of fall back on what he was just stating. So you can see Litecoin right now, market Bitcoin dominance is extremely high. Market cap and 24-hour volume look okay. I mean, they're slightly up, but for the most part, or at least the volume was slightly up, and you can see that we are starting to top off and pull back down, which is obviously unfortunate. Obviously, we want to continue to see green across the board. You can see majority of the cryptos are in red, only consolidating back downwards about 2%, I'd say. Nothing really more, nothing really less than that. So it doesn't look too bad. Bitcoin still above 10,000, which is nice, 10,460. Litecoin $67. Not yet above 70, but you can see very close to Bitcoin Cash, and the other cryptos for the most part are down. So the market is very, you know, tongue twisted right now. They are very intertwined. So moving on to, let's jump right into Litecoin. You can see what exactly is going on with Litecoin and what he's referring to. So it depends on how you want to look at this. I mean, I think he was looking at the 4 hour, so we can jump into the 4 hour and see how this looks. So now I'm not too sure what graph he was looking at, but we can definitely make an analysis off this. You'll notice right now that with this 4 hour, you can see there's a lot more trading within this downtrend right here, and it looks a lot more prominent versus like the daily or the weekly. So the one thing you can take off of this is the fact that we do have a very strong resistance right here. This red band is a very strong resistance where we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 9 tests of, or of consolidation and 9 confirmations that this is a resistance where we've tested this numerous times and have yet to break through. And then vice versa, when we have our bottom support right here, we can clearly see we have 1, you could say 2, 3 over here. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 at the bottom. So this, for the most part, is a very strong support on the bottom. So what's interesting is the fact that we did just recently break through it. What does that mean for Litecoin? So the fact that we just recently broke through it, it will start to use this as a support instead of a resistance or a top. You can see that every time we tried to, break through it at the top, it would inevitably fall to lower levels. The fact that we finally closed the candle above it means that it could start using it as a support, unfortunately on the way down. Now that I'm noticing in terms of Litecoin on the 4-hour is it was overbought. We were nearing overbought. Not only that, a big giveaway was we were hitting the high-low minimum moving average right here, which is a strong resistance. Do I think we're going to head lower? I'd be very shocked. We have a support right now at exactly 67, as well as the downtrend now acting as a support. So you have a lot of things keeping this coin afloat. I'd be very shocked to see us fall lower. Honestly, a very short-term consolidation and another retest back at $70 is definitely what looks to be necessary. We should continue to hold these levels. I don't think we'll go any farther below 67. I'd be very shocked. But in the near future, if the bulls can come back up, we should be able to retest, I think, around $70 and eventually $72 to $73 before hopefully breaking above that and using that as a support as well. Mainly, we just have to make sure that we don't retest resistance at $68. Now, just to zoom back out real quick, let's see. Obviously, in regards to the daily, we are extremely undervalued and extremely in dire need of volume to push this coin right back up to the top. As you can see, all the way back up to potentially $100, which was higher at one point, but is slowly trickling down to lower levels, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but maybe a cap at 96 to, I think, by the end of the next couple of months. Now, moving on to Bitcoin, you'll notice Bitcoin hitting a resistance, very interesting, but makes sense. Let's jump onto the 4-hour again. Why not switch things up for today's episode? You can clearly see what exactly is going on. You can see that we've used this uptrend numerous times, using it as a support, and then when we broke through, we used it as a resistance. You can see we just broke through this downtrend, and now we're using this. We're kind of stuck in here. So what's nice is Bitcoin on the 4 hours, it's actually above its high-low MMA. You can see there's a golden cross potentially forming right now in Bitcoin. So that is definitely a good sighting. I'm very pleased to see that we could potentially cross over here, indicating some more bullish volume. But you'll notice another reason why we did pull back down in the short term is due to the fact that we were extremely overbought on Bitcoin. So this small consolidation potentially back down and using this downtrend, which is a support now, as a means to consolidate and then swing back up and potentially retest this resistance is definitely a key possibility and something very necessary. I really do think that within a couple of weeks we should hopefully be able to break this barrier right here and get right back inside of the uptrend, and then eventually, finish and complete the massive ascending triangle that is within this currency, because I do not believe this was the end right here. Some people might even see, I'm starting to see something else, like potentially something like this. I'm going to probably delete this, but this is definitely a possibility. It's tough. No, I don't really think that's there. I'm going to delete that, but you can see why I would assume that this is potentially an uptrend right here with numerous points of contact. But you can see we're kind of getting sandwiched in between the high-low MMA as well as the uptrend right here. But it's nice to see that the price is obviously above that. So regardless, it's in the past. Now moving on to Ethereum, and I'll wrap things up with XRP. Ethereum looks to be in the same position. Literally, for whatever reason, all the cryptocurrencies right now, the top like 5 are all following the same exact pattern as Bitcoin, like to a T. Nothing is changing right now. They are all identical. You could see, XRP is retracing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It is falling with the rest of the market. we did have this little, intersection right here, the symmetrical triangle where he broke bearish from, slowly catching back up, and it looks like we're following the downtrend lower. I think literally with the rest of the market, and like the article said, we need some volume, very small amount of volume, and it should ascend us back up to these levels. I know I've been saying that, but that's pretty much what is gearing to happen. So short term, we may start to see some smaller consolidation because, as we know, the 4-hour charts seem to be extremely overbought, and then eventually we should get out of that because there's plenty of room for uptrend within the daily charts. Similar with XRP. XRP just consolidating out right here. Very, very, very strong, it seems like, support right here where we just continue to consolidate further. Not really making any moves, but eventually we should swing back upwards. Obviously, short term, let's see if we were overbought. No, we were not. So you can see what exactly is happening on the 4-hour though. We're kind of getting sandwiched in between high-low MMA and our bottom support consolidation because we are trying to hold this key level right here with a bottom. I think this is rock bottom support at 24. But you can see where we're hitting resistance up here, and really what we're trying to do is get above this level. So if we are able to bounce off here with this consolidation, swing back up and close the candle up near 27 cents, that should give us enough volume with the rest of the market to eventually climb to higher levels. Otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.